Alright, hey, how you doing YouTube? Welcome back to the studio. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, I do believe I mentioned that things are a little bit less hectic here around the studio. That turned out to be true for about 9 hours. Things are crazier than ever. First of all, it took me all day to produce that LI Retro recap video, which you should definitely check out, like and subscribe. But also, it's really starting to dawn on me that we have 2 weeks to finish this game. Fortunately, I was able to do some work yesterday and this morning. I got all this stuff done, so we are making progress, but let's quit talking about it and let's get into the update. Okay, hey, check it out. We got our lava working and we got the game over collision working too. So that wasn't too difficult to get working. It was a little bit tricky though. We are using some interrupts and things like that, so we'll go over that in the deep dive. I also got the overlays working for Emulicious. I hate doing these overlays. For some reason, I just can't wrap my head around it. I really suck at doing them. And yet, every single time, I'm glad I did because it saves my ass. And the overlays were really helpful in making sure that all the collisions in between the looping works. And that's about it. It's not pretty to look at, but everything is working great and I'm really happy with the progress so far. Let's take a look at the cycles here though. If I start jumping around here, we are peaking at 50%, and we still have to do the dropping blocks and we still have to do wall jumping. And previously I did mention that if we wanted to do 60 FPS multiplayer, we probably have to have all those things and stay within 60% CPU usage. So it's quite possible that we might be screwed. So are we gonna make it or not? Stay tuned, like and subscribe. And that's pretty much it for the update. We've got a long ways to go yet, Hobbitses, but we're making good progress. We're still at the marshes, I think, but we're pretty close to the Black Gate. Then we gotta go through Mordor, and then we gotta climb Mount Doom still. But I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Let's get into the deep dive. Doing the lava with the interrupts was actually trickier than I thought it was gonna be. I ended up having to redo my entire LYC interrupts logic. The first thing I did was I stopped using the window layer. Previously, I was using the window layer for the HUD, and I was using the LYC interrupt to hide the window layer so that we can have the HUD at the top of the screen. I stopped doing that and I decided, okay, I'm just going to use the background layer 1 and background layer 2. The reason I did that was to keep it consistent, but also I wasn't sure if you could do the scrolling lava effect with the windows. You might be able to, I don't know. I gotta actually try it to see if you can do that or not. But some of the stuff is still the same. You still have to enable the LYC interrupt. On the Game Boy, there's something called the LCD stat interrupt, I think. And one of the triggers you can set for it is LYC, the LY coincidence interrupt. So basically, you can trigger a routine to fire based on what LY the PPU is currently drawing. So that's what we're doing with this line, and then we're actually setting the function that fires whenever it triggers here. So this might seem a little bit complicated. It's okay once you get the hang of it. Basically, I'm saying, okay, if the LY that the PPU is drawing, or about to draw, is 0, use the background layer 2, and move the background to the HUD position. I can show you what I mean. If we go to the tile map viewer here, and we go to the second background layer, you can see that I drew the HUD at the top of the tile map, and then I drew the lava right underneath it. So basically, when the PPU is about to draw the first scan line, basically, I'm saying, hey, use this background layer and move the camera so that you're gonna draw these HUD tiles exactly where it needs to be. And here's the trick to it. You basically have to set when the next trigger is gonna be. So here I'm setting the next trigger to be at the LY where the HUD ends. So this one fires when the HUD is about to be drawn, and then this one fires when the HUD is finished drawing. And when the HUD is finished drawing, I'm basically just saying, hey, go back to using BKG layer 1, which is where the actual map, the background map is gonna live. And I'm also telling it to restore camera positions, so scroll it back to where the camera X and camera Y is. This is some H-blank stuff. I got really confused this morning. I was like, why is my H-blank stuff in the LYC interrupt? So I went back and I double checked with the example for H-blank that's in GBDK, and they were doing the same thing, so that might be where I picked it up. there's no reason why you need to do your H-blank stuff inside of an LYC interrupt, but I did keep this here because it's kind of a safe place to do it, you know? My player is going to be locked basically in the middle of the viewport the whole time, so doing your tile replacements up here seems like a safe place to do it for me, so that's where I kept it for now. The next thing you gotta do is you gotta figure out, okay, what LY is the lava at? And it's actually really simple. All you gotta do is just subtract the camera position from the world position of the lava, because they're both in world position. And then set the next interrupt to fire at that LY. Then after that, when the lava is ready to be drawn, you basically just switch back to the second background layer. You do need to scroll it though to where it needs to be drawn, because if we look at the tile map again, if your camera is over here, it's going to start drawing wherever it's at. So you have to scroll the camera so that it's at the top of the lava line. And then just set the next trigger to fire at LY0, and then it starts all over again. And that is how you get both a static HUD at the top and scrolling lava using background layer 2. I should also mention too, because when I first started, I thought the Game Boy had a background layer and a window layer, which is kind of true, but what it actually has is 2 background layers, and you can choose if you want to use one of them as a window layer. And for this instance, we chose not to use it at all. Pretty much because I wasn't sure if it was gonna work, honestly. I should have tried it. And that's gonna do it for this video, folks. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. We're a brand new channel, we're a very small studio, so every like, every subscribe counts, so we got a long ways to go, I'm not gonna lie. It's gonna be tight, but I am going to wrap it up for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy.